It's been a while, but here's a mock. This is an entry to LWSA's contest. And yeah, let's just take a look at it. So there were some images at the beginning for the for him because I think he prefers images, but I like doing this type of a thing. So we got both, best of both worlds. So here it is. This is like a spaceship in a garage, like like a mechanic shop because it needs a little fixing. Now my idea for this was it would be like a relatively nice spaceship, not like the nicest you could get, but a relatively decent quality spaceship, like a, and it's in a pretty junky, janky mechanic shop. Now it didn't turn out to be too janky like I originally planned, but it still is relatively janky. As you can see, the floor's got grates and wires and vents and rusty parts and dirty parts, random garbage everywhere. And one thing I do want to point out about this mock is it is not minifig scale whatsoever. Sorry about the weird camera holding. I had to grab this minifigure. Speaking of janky, this is a janky minifig. Here, zoom in. There you go. Look at that janky minifig. Come on. Gosh darn it. Isn't that just the worst? Look at that janky minifig. I don't even know why that's a thing. Anyway, but as you can see, it is absolutely not minifig scale because there's a table and he's like way too small. So, if that's something that annoys you, then dang, I'm sorry. It's not my fault Lego makes wrenches that are way too big. Anyway, but yeah, so spaceship we'll start out with. The color scheme is fairly simple, I would say. We got the white and then gray. Now there are slight differences on both sides, just because that's just the way I build, especially when it comes to like things that need to be different. Because I feel like something like this you can get away with that, especially with like we got these metal parts. So like on this side it's just gray, dark gray here, and then on this side we got some light gray. All these tiny differences you wouldn't really notice. You can't really notice. But, since it's going to mechanic shop, it's like, hey, it needs to get this fixed or painted or, whatever. And as you can see, it's a relatively sleek design, I'd say. We got, like, what's it called? Like in episode 1 of Star Wars, the pod racers. We got the, like, little turbines in the front, which I think look kind of cool. The underneath, we have, like, some, like, very little detail, but there's a couple things. Like if we look underneath, actually I won't show underneath. Let's just say it's just underside of studs. You get the idea. So yeah, it's mostly white with some blue and some gray. And the cockpit here, I'm not opening it up because I did that in the last recording and it went absolutely horribly. But there is a little control panel. I mean a little seat, as well as a little handles, steering device. I can't talk. There is no control panel, like a little dashboard. Because I couldn't get one to fit in there right. So, I probably could, but I didn't try very hard. Anyway, let's let this focus again. We got two little, like, engine bits here, some random stuff. In the back, oops, that's from the last, I forgot about that. There you go, that's supposed to be like that. I was fixing it, kind of broke. Very fragile. All my mocks are very fragile. Anyway, but I used the bubble turret piece without the, like, bubble part or the little ball part in there. And I think that's a very nice engine. I think it's super big. It's got these little slits in it. I think that looks really cool as an engine. Only problem is you can like see right in there, and it's like, dang, that's annoying. You can see it doesn't go very far. That's basically it for the spaceship. I do like it. I think it's pretty good. I wish it was less studded. And the platform it's on, because it's so front heavy with these wings, it kind of slants a bit. I think it's slanting. It's slanting a bit. I think it looks slanting more than it actually is because of the way these are put on. But it is slanting quite a bit. So I think if I do put this on display, I'll have some things to hold up these wings, some clear pieces underneath, so it has less weight on the bottom. But for now, this is how it is. And let's take a look at the mechanic spot over here. We have some tools, a little lamp, and there's a little like engine or part that's getting fixed or worked on. We got some tools, a walkie-talkie, like a grate that he took off to get in there. Some random like built-up tools, like that kind of looks like a, I don't know, some kind of weird wrench or something. But it was very enjoyable to make this type of stuff. This is probably my favorite type of building, is making stuff like this. Underneath, we do have some stuff, mostly there just for like to know that there's something there. You can kind of get the idea. There's like, there's like a ladder, and can I make that brighter? I don't know. There's like a ladder and some crap under there. There's a little bucket with some stuff in there. Then we have this little like drawer unit or cupboard or shelving. There's the word, with different things. I'm not going to take them all out, but they are relatively good looking, or not good looking, but well detailed. Not to the degree of that, but to a degree. They look like parts, but they're not that great looking, but they're not just like random pieces. Because I have a little bit of a pet peeve for just throwing pieces on a ground and calling it a mock. You know, I've seen plenty of mocks where it's like a junkyard and they just throw pieces everywhere. They have one build and then pieces just everywhere, and they're like, this is a mock. That doesn't count. That's just throwing pieces everywhere. Now, this type of thing does count, in my opinion, because it's little sub-assemblies. This might be the closest thing to a piece just sitting there, but I think it's okay. It's a pass for me, okay, because I never do it. Anyway, but the floor is relatively interesting. I'm using the triangle panels here. You can get these like lines, and they're kind of, it's hard to see because the spaceship's in the way and I'm not moving it, but there's all sorts of details under there with like different layers of panels. And as I said, this is not minifig scale, because if a minifig was to be walking on this, they would trip over these panels and stuff. And even if a person, because at person scale, a person would be like that, you would trip over all these panels. It's so poorly designed, but I think it looks pretty good. We got this little pedestal, or like a hydraulic to hold up the spaceship, and we have some tubing and stuff. It's not looking great right now because I don't know why, but it just isn't. I don't know. It was kind of, I had to design this in a way so that I had a Technic beam coming up and being as sturdy as I can make it. It's relatively sturdy. As I said, there's a lot of weight in the front, so I'd like to have clear bits underneath these to hold them up. As you can see, there's like little bits of like, there's like lights and stuff. There's a light there, as well as there. I really like that light. I don't know why. I just made it, and I'm like, where should I put this? And I just stuck it there. I think it looks pretty good. Kind of looks like a caution light or something. And yeah, there's a little bits of brown as well as beige in the floor, just to give it that dirty look. And let me move that guy. That's basically it. Pretty simple mock. And yeah, as I said, it's in a contest. If you want to enter it, there's like 2 weeks left. If you have a mock, go ahead. I think the rules are like, it can't be something you already put a video out on. You gotta like make a new one or something. Which I pretty much did just make this. It took a while, but I did make this for the contest. And yeah, that's basically it for this mock. And yeah, sorry it's been a while, but alright. I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that might be. It might be another 2 months, who knows.